Hey everybody, Katherine Reay here on behalf of the 10-Minute Book Talk. I'm here with my co-host, Rachel Linden and Marie Bostwick. And today we have the honor of having one of my favorite people with us, Madeline Martin, and her beautiful book, The Book Lover's Library. So you are going to love this story. I got to read it early. It's been out for about a month, so you can go purchase it. But Madeline, welcome, and tell us a little bit about The Book Lover's Library.
Thank you so much. I love chatting with you ladies on a 10-minute book talk. This is just so much fun. So The Book Lover's Library is a heartwarming homefront read set at the beginning of World War II, where a widow has to send her daughter away during the evacuation of children in England. And it's set in this lovely little place called the Book Lover's Library, which is based off of a real lending library that existed in that time period.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
I love that. That's adorable.
Thank
And also
you.
sad. Also adorable.
Really, really, really good. Man, I love a home front story. So this sounds really interesting to me. But what inspired you to write this book?
So quite a few things. First of all was basically the children having to be sent away because as a mother, I can't even imagine. I know when I did research for the last bookshop in London, which was my first book that was set in England in World War II, it was kind of the first book about books for me. I read about the children being sent away, and I couldn't imagine. Basically, these parents had to put their kids on a train. They didn't know where they were going. They didn't know who they were going to live with or when they would be back. And if these children left at the very beginning of the evacuation, they didn't come back until they were given the all clear after the end of the war to do so, they would have been gone for 6 years. And that really stayed with me. In fact, I actually had a reader who reached out, and she had been part of the evacuation as a little girl, and she shared her story with me. I can't go into detail on it because it would reveal a spoiler, but I sort of allude to it in the back of the book. And I also love to meet with book clubs. So I can totally go into spoilers with book clubs if anybody wants to. It's just on my website under madelinemartin.com under book clubs, and you can request for me to join them. And so that's part of it. The other part of it is the Book Lover's Library, which, like I said, was a real lending library that existed that basically was this library that was located in a Boots pharmacy, which would basically be like a CVS or a Walgreens of today. If you'd go back to the back of the store or the second floor, it's like you were transported into this wonderfully bookish world, and the pharmacy just kind of fell away behind you. And this took place during when they had the marriage ban, which meant, or the marriage bar, which meant that when women got married, they had to give up their jobs to become full-time mothers and wives. And apparently the women who worked for the Book Lovers Library had statistically longer engagements than women in other areas of employment because they loved their job so much. And when I started researching it more, there were all of these wonderfully quirky patrons who would come into the Book Lovers Library. And so I actually used them as sort of a foundation to create these fun characters that come into the Book Lovers Library. And then, so I also, as myself personally, I was a single mother for several years. And so I incorporated sort of my life as a single mother into Emma and some of my own personal experiences, and including like that lovely kind of bond that mothers have with their children when they're pretty much a single parent and you're the sole source of all that love and affection. But then also, as far as Olivia goes, who's her daughter, I sort of based her off of both of my girls, especially at that particular age, which of course just really endeared the character to me. But I really wanted to ensure that Olivia acted as an authentic child in the book and that the relationship between her and her mother, Emma, was really authentic.
Man, that just sounds like there's lots of great layers to this. I can't wait to read it.
Thank you.
There's so many great layers, and you do such a good job with family and finding family and sort of not only finding solace, but also identity through the books we read. But most of the books I think of when I think of World War II, take place in London or on the battlefield, resistance in France. But you set it off in Nottingham, England. And tell us a little bit, other than the Book Lovers Library itself, what you might have found there that was new for World War II readers.
Right. So, well, and I will say part of it is actually because of the Book Lovers Library. So Boots Chemists and the Book Lovers Library were all over England. In fact, they had one in Piccadilly that was a 24-hour pharmacy, which I thought was really cool because you think about that being contemporary, but it actually really was historical. And basically, the Boots Book Lovers Library, this is where the first one was located in Nottingham, but they also had these amazing caves that ran all the way through the city. And they used that to shelter in during World War II, during the Blitz. And that was a really new concept for me. I've never heard of any city that had that. And I was able to really delve into life in Nottingham, like little things like how they would have these big drums of oil that they would light so that it would make this smoke screen and this fog to kind of keep the city from being bombed. And everybody said that it just stunk to high heaven and they absolutely hated it. So those little touches that are just so specifically Nottingham, I really enjoyed incorporating those elements into the book.
I love it.
Okay, so when you said 24-hour pharmacy, I totally thought you were going to say 24-hour library, and I got really exexcited because isn't that a dream? Like a 24-hour
Right,
library.
exactly.
3 a.m. You need a new
When you
book.
said that, I was like, yeah,
Right now at 3 a.m.
Like my dream, 24-hour library. Okay, so this book has been out about a month. It sounds wonderful. It sounds heartwarming. What is next for you? Because I know you are always working on something.
Thank you. It's another book about books, but this one is actually being set in the Victorian time period. It's called The
Oh.
Secret Book Society. And is it about a young countess who has been widowed 3 times? And yes, there are quite a bit of rumors and gossip going on about that. And she discovers that women are having their reading materials suppressed. And so she opens up her library, her very extensive library, and invites these women in, but they don't just talk about gossip or even just about books. There are much more subversive topics that sort of come up. So as of September 2025, you are cordially invited to the Secret Book Society. And people can check that out on Goodreads. It doesn't have a release date yet exactly, or a cover, or a really professional blurb, but it is there.
It's
and
coming.
I've been updating
And the idea
part
is amazing.
with what's going on with it.
Oh, I
Oh, I
love that. What a
love this
fabulous
idea.
concept. Sign me up.
Thank you.
Yeah, me
And
too.
tell the name again, because it's so intriguing.
The Secret Book Society.
Secret
Love
Book
it.
Society.
I'm writing
Yeah.
that
Love it.
down.
Assignment.
Super,
Yeah, write
it
it
was
down.
so much fun to write. I'm loving it.
So like
Okay.
original banned books.
I love this. Okay, so other than the Secret Book Society, what else is bringing you joy today? It's the final question we ask everybody.
My cat Ink. And if you want to see what she looks like, make sure you check out Catherine's Instagram page because she's going to be posting a super cute picture of me holding Ink, and Ink is really what makes it the cute picture. And all the rest of us just there to smile for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. This has been
10-minute book talkers, it is lovely to spend another day with you. And Madeline, thank you so much for being with us today. Please hold up the book again, The Book Lovers Library. Check this out. It was a fabulous story. I thoroughly loved every moment of it. And put on your to-read list on Goodreads, The Secret Book Society. Right?
Yes.
There we go. So put that on Goodreads.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you, ladies. You guys are the best.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
We'll see you next week.